It's hard to imagine just how many legislators, staff, and members of the public have entered the Capitol's front doors since it first opened in 1905. Countless scores have come to shape public policy and leave a mark. Some have even left behind physical mementos that time has passed by.
Things that people hadn't seen for many, many decades.
The state capitol's $272.7 million restoration, renovation, and repair initiative is uncovering these hidden artifacts. Brian Pease, the Capitol Historic Site Manager, stands ready to receive any treasure that construction crews come across.
As they're doing any demolition or removal of materials, if they discover anything that's, kind of left in place or something historic, they are to inform the contractors that we found these things, and they actually go there and document kind of the location and take photos, and then we are given the items after that for our use to help tell the story of early stories of Minnesota's state capitol, from the 1905 all the way to the 1930s or 40s or 50s when things were being left or lost in different parts of the building.
Pease shows us some items that were left behind and are just now being seen after decades of being in the shadows.
Now, this is a really historical artifact that really relates to legislative work, and it's a campaign card.
Right, and that's what's kind of neat about some of these cards that we found. This tells you how people were using this to campaign for office. So, like we have business cards today, they were just keeping a bunch of those in their coat pocket and, hey, I'm running for city council, or I'm running for governor or legislator or whatever it might be. Otto Adler ran for the St. Paul City Council in 1914. There was a field of over 20 candidates, and so once again they had kind of a primary, and he never made it through the first round to get to the final election. So I'm sure he had plenty of these cards left. So he left this above an electrical box in the basement. And by doing some additional research on Otto Adler, he had a reason to be in the Capitol because he was a restaurateur of St. Paul, and he managed the Rathskeller cafeteria in the first decade of its existence. And so he was one who probably had access to some of these basement spaces, and once again, maybe as he was leaving his employment here or whatever, wanted to be remembered, someday someone's going to find out who Otto Adler was.
Adler wasn't the only one who left behind business cards.
Ole Jacobson was his first name, but he ran for governor probably in the 1930s, 20s or 30s. These were found in the false ceiling that was put in place when they completed the tunnel from the state office building to the Capitol. So that pretty much dates the time he could have had access to the opening or the work that was being done, and that would have been 1932, 1933. So and there's several cards. He just left a little stack when the electrical contractor employees was doing the demolition and found these cards just sitting there.
Along with these business cards, Pease says workers have turned over other treasures, such as an embossing stamp and old bottles.
We're glad and thankful people are willing to give us the discoveries and some of the finds that they have made as they're doing the work in the Capitol.
As these finds come to light, a picture of the people that came to the Capitol to leave their mark on public policy becomes a little bit more clear.